So here's the thing, because we hear all the time, high value man, high value man.
Oh,
How
all the
would
time.
you define what a high value man is? If you're going to give like a bullet point list, how would you define it?
Do you know what? More than anything, I think for a woman, first of all, is a high value man is you get a feeling.
Okay.
You instinctively get like this woof when you're around a high value
What is
man,
it
or when
feeling? Is it like nerves, excitement?
or absolutely, it's all of that. It's nerves, excitement, it's every single emotion off at once. You can
Yeah.
literally feel like you're like sort of standing there quietly, but you'll sort of feel like you're Tasmanian devil at the same time, but
Yeah.
inside. So it's a really exciting feeling.
But
But
I guess
it's
normal girls could get that for normal guys though. What I mean is that's not specific to like a high value man getting that feeling.
I definitely disagree.
No?
Yeah, you
Maybe
can
that's all you get the feeling of.
maybe, but no, I think that there's I'd like to, but please tell me if I'm going off
No,
subject at
please
all.
go for it.
But I think that you can get the same woman and she can be around a guy of high value of status, who gives her that feeling, to a guy that doesn't, and she will act completely differently, and she will feel completely differently. But yeah, a high value man is someone that is mostly just, it's not that he doesn't care about anything or anyone, because I'm sure, most men do, but it's they are so on their purpose that they don't care about the feelings and emotions of every single person around them. That could go for colleagues, friends, the government, people in the world. They're just so focused on them, and they're going to do what's right for them
Yeah.
all the time in every single situation in their life, without even it's not even a topic for discussion in their head. It just is.
The mission is the priority. As in his mission, like his purpose is always his priority.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I would describe a high value man. Yeah. And with that I feel with that mentality for a man would come a good financial means, being able to have a good group of friends, being able to be in a good relationship, having status, being respected as a man. And I would say that, again, another thing that separates a high value man from like the standard guy is he's respected. He's respected by many. He's respected by his friends, his family, his mother, his sisters, his brothers, and most of the women that he meets in his life. Pretty much everyone, colleagues,
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Well, I guess it's one of those things because, a lot of those qualities, obviously they're very attractive, but I guess it's what's the difference between a man who has those qualities, but maybe he's just not in the position of what we would call a high status man, if that makes sense. Because you can, I guess, because you can have like the pastor in the church can have the respect of all his colleagues and the people in his circle because of maybe what he represents to the community. But then I guess what I'm trying to ask is there something tangible about what a high value man is? Because a lot of those qualities are obviously great, but it's not only high value men who maybe have those qualities, because I guess it depends what direction you choose to go in life. Do you know what I mean?
It's a really challenging question.
I know. I'm putting
Oh
you on
my
the
God.
spot here,
Yeah,
Tallulah.
you really are. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree that a high value man is someone that is, yes, respected by many, but he doesn't change himself for anyone, you know. And so many guys could say, "Oh, I don't change myself for anyone," and I'm just, but you know, going out in there in life, are they? You know.
Yeah. How much would you say? Because I think when you have a relationship with someone, I think there's an element of compromise you have to make, and I think it depends on how important that relationship is to you. So, in your view, would you say a guy who is quote unquote high value, would you say that he doesn't make any compromises for the relationship with the woman he wants, or do you think there are certain things he might be willing to do that maybe before he didn't?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, if he is with a woman that he, loves and adores, he'll look after her, he'll protect her, he'll provide for her. But he's not going to change himself
Sure.
for her. And women can often want to it might not be change a man in a bad way, but it'll be, spend more time with me, don't hang out with your friends as much, all of those things, but they're not going to start doing that for her. Does that make sense?
Would you want, well, how about, like, would you want your man, let's say you got a guy who's high value.
Yeah, I have.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked him to spend more time with you, like, and be like, oh, it would be nice if he spent more time outside of the work and friends and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to spend more time with him.
Yeah.
I love my time with him, and a little bit about that is you feel when I'm around him, I feel like happy, content, calm, but confident.
Do you feel safe?
I feel so safe.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And more than anything is it's definitely a feeling of, when at the beginning of this podcast you sort of said excitement and nerves at the same time, but you get that, but I feel confident when I'm around him because he's so confident in himself. And
Right.
I feel, for women that are with men who are technically high value, high status, that type of guy that we've just discussed,
Yeah.
then by having that confidence, you can elevate your own life so much with that.
Yeah. So how would you say, how long have you been with him, if you don't mind me asking?
Almost 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah, almost.
Almost 2 years.
I'm hanging on.
That anniversary's coming, boy.
I'm hanging on.
So how would you say you were before you were with him? Because you talked about just now about elevating your confidence as a woman when you're in a relationship with the kind of man you desire, right? How would you say you were before with him, and then how do you feel like you've grown since being with him, like you said, in yourself, being confident, all of that?
Yeah, so I think as a woman, our ways of leveling up as women is slightly different to a guy. It might not be around jobs and careers and earning lots of money, but it's fitness. Yes, that's something, but I'd say it's more like being able to create more skills for yourself. So I've always enjoyed cooking, so I was quite lucky with that. But when I met him, I was like, right, I really, really, really need to learn more recipes. I need to, make a sandwich a perfect sandwich. I need to pull out every single cultural different dish I could make.
Right. And did you make that decision upon yourself, because you're like, I found this guy and I want to make him mine?
Yeah, I want to make this guy mine.
Right.
And I want this guy to it's basically about making yourself as valuable as you can as an asset to him, so that you are making yourself I'm getting all confused now. So it's making yourself like an asset to him, so that he would notice a gap in his life without you.
Pow.